Hello, Overclockers, and welcome back to the Overclockers Podcast. I'm joined by Stephen, and today we have a guest, the lovely Veracity.
Hey guys, I'm Veracity. My real name is Jasmine, and I do esports presenting and interviewing in the gaming, esports, tech, you name it kind of space. It's a pleasure to be here at Overclockers.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And I've actually got a question straight
Go
in.
on.
How did you get into it? Like, surely you didn't just end up on stage and just started presenting, right? You got
Out of the womb, straight on stage. No. I actually was the biggest esports fan. I would watch tournaments all the time. I have an older brother that also plays PC games. So I started PC gaming because of him. And he actually went to Insomnia way back when. It was at like a race course, Newbury race course. And he came back from that LAN event and he had brought back like a giant crate of energy drinks and all of these pictures and all of these stories about how cool it was. Everybody was sleeping underneath their desks. We were just gaming all night. And at that moment, I was like, I have to go to one of these. So yeah, I like grew up. And for me, because I was such a big esports fan, I wanted to understand what went on behind the scenes to kind of make esports events what it was. And then that's how I kind of got into tournament management and adminning. I kind of volunteered to be a part of Insomnia. So I was a volunteer admin for Insomnia. And then slowly like worked my way up the ranks, became a tournament manager at Insomnia. But along the way I met John Kelly, shout out to John Kelly, who introduced me to Epic.LAN. And he was like, you should come along to Epic.LAN and do some adminning for me there. And yeah, that's kind of how it went. And then from there I started adminning for ESL, for Blast, all of these other tournament organizers. Then yeah, I had kind of like admin for all of the events that I wanted to. And it was like, well, I feel like I've done everything now. Like I've done all of the big CS events. I did the COD World League. And I had always wanted to do hosting and presenting. Like I knew that all of the players super well. I understood what it took to run a broadcast, how everything needs to be on time, what to do when there's tech delays and all of these things. So I kind of threw myself in the deep end a little bit. I didn't really have the confidence to do hosting. I was a very anxious person. But I remember I posted a tweet and I was like, I want to try hosting. Who's going to give me a shot? And then again, John from Epic.LAN this time was like, you can come on over to Epic.LAN and do some hosting for us. And I loved it. It was amazing. Like I already knew the community at Epic.LAN, all of the staff at Epic.LAN, everyone's super nice. And then COVID happened, which was not ideal. But then I started doing events online. And from there, once COVID had kind of gone, I was getting offers to do events in real life. So I kind of built up like a little bit of a portfolio during the online era.
So do you think that admin and the understanding of games and knowing the esports players helped you get into that role? Because I assume when you was admin, you weren't being paid, right? Was that like a volunteer passion thing, or was it a paid job as well? Or
it depends. So like for Epic.LAN, it was all voluntary. For Insomnia, for quite some time, it was voluntary until I became a tournament manager. But for Blast and ESL, you were getting paid for it. So it kind of varied on what the event was. But for me, it was like, it didn't really matter if I was being paid or not. Like I was doing it for the love of the game, honestly. Like I was at university at the same time as traveling to all these countries, like all around the world to do adminning because it was what I was passionate about. So yeah.
Do you prefer hosting now then? You think that's like more, like you think you'd ever go back to adminning?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Like for me, I have a lot of energy. Mm-hmm. So I love being able to connect with people, speak to fans. Because like every time I do an event, the first thing I'm thinking is like, what would a fan want to know? What is everybody that is watching from home want to know? Because I was once that fan and I would sit there and I'd have like a million questions as well. So I don't know. I just love interacting with people. I know a bunch of the players really well. So it just kind of, it makes sense. I always have fun on a broadcast. So yeah.
Amazing. And what would you say your favourite event has been? I assume you've done loads, so it's probably hard to pick one out. But is there one that kind of sticks out as one that you really liked doing?
I think the Counter-Strike Rio Major was amazing. It was incredible. Like For me, I had grown up playing 1.6 and Counter-Strike Source and then Counter-Strike Go and now obviously CS2. But for Rio, this is the game that I grew up as a fan, watching with my older brother, playing with my older brother. And now I'm on a broadcast in front of hundreds of thousands of people online, looking up to and speaking to all of the players that I've been watching for basically my entire life. It was... oh my God, it was just like a feeling unlike any other. The crowd were so loud. I couldn't even hear myself on broadcast. I couldn't hear my producer because of how loud they were. The energy was amazing.
Yeah, Brazilian crowds are like, I've experienced it from when they came to London for MSI, the League of Legends event. They like, and the people always said they will follow their teams around the world always. And I remember sitting like, you couldn't hear anything because the fans were so loud and they were losing, like, and they were so loud. So I can't even imagine being like in their event where, like, realistically, I mean, I know there was like a Rainbow Six major there not long ago and there's the CS majors, but they don't get loads of tier 1 events like Europe and America does, so, or North America. So like I can't even imagine like that atmosphere. Like it's probably phenomenal.
It was crazy, dude. Like the arena had like sold so many seats that they had a little impromptu, they opened up outside of the arena. It was like a garden area. They put up like a giant projector screen and projected the games on there because there were so many people that were there that loved CS, that wanted to watch but couldn't get tickets. And it was just this amazing feeling of community, like so many people there just enjoying CS. I loved it.
So cool. That's really cool. Talking about the other end of the scale, is there anything that's gone like majorly wrong? Like, because obviously it's live, you're saying it's broadcast to hundreds of thousands of people. Is there anything that's happened that's kind of gone, well, thrown you off a little bit?
Plenty. There has been a lot that has gone wrong, but that just happens. It's live broadcast. And this is what I try telling people every time we're on a broadcast and like people are stressed. It's like, it's fine. It happens. Tech issues will happen all the time. It doesn't matter how many times you like test out the equipment and stuff. Something is bound to go wrong. There was an event where, for example, we had a technical issue with the stage. Are you okay? Oh, I know this is emotional.
Eyes are water. Might need to cut this bit out because I need to cough as well.
You need to keep it.
I don't know what's going on. I'm crying.
It's because of how heartfelt this is.
The stage breaking. Yeah,
I know.
Stephen is very passionate about stages.
Yeah, I love stages.
You love stages
it's
and
just
you love
my
chairs.
right eye. It's just like leaking. Like, yeah, I'm very sad about this. It's very emotional. But yeah, carry on. Sorry.
Plenty goes wrong. Like, it's a live broadcast. You're bound to have tech issues. And I feel like each event has its unique charm. Specific things that maybe go wrong end up being like a highlight for me and the talent working it. Because it's like, hey, you remember that one event that like the entire venue flooded? That did actually happen one time. Like, we had a venue flood. But you just got to kind of roll with the punches. There was another event where the stage kind of broke down a little bit and we were live on air. There was another event where we had a power cut and I'm on stage and my producer can't talk to me. So everybody's panicking and I can see off the corner of my eye that people are running around backstage and nobody knows what's going on. But you kind of just got to roll with the punches. And
I guess the more mistakes that happen, the more you kind of learn how to deal with it. Because I guess it's similar, right? Like, no matter what's going on, you're just having to entertain the crowd, I guess, and just keep the flow moving so it doesn't look like anything drastic is going wrong.
Like, entertaining people, but then for me, one of my biggest goals is to always try and make it not obvious that we have a tech delay or something's gone wrong or there's a power cut or like... Because when I did one of the events, there was a power cut, but then I was told, like, off the side of the stage, you were live the whole time. Like, the camera was rolling, but everything backstage was off.
Oh, wow.
Producer couldn't see the cameras, producer couldn't talk to me, like, everything else was off. So assume you're on broadcast at all times and try and make it not obvious that it's like that meme where the dog sat at the table and he's like, this is fine, and there's just fire all around, and that's me on stage sometimes. But I love it. It keeps you on your toes.
Yeah,
definitely makes everything unique, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. It's just also funny that you as like and we have this from like our side as event managers, but like you have that where, you know, you see talent from event and you're like, oh, you remember that time something went wrong, but the audience probably will never remember that. Like they're going to remember, you know, one of the players clutching or the trophy, but we behind the scenes with the perfectionists go, oh yeah, we actually remember the one thing that went wrong out of a full weekend. It's really like interesting to see that from your side as well. And I think like for people at home trying to get into the space like that you're in now, it's also probably reassuring for them to know like you can make those mistakes. Like, you know, you've got a tier 1 talent here saying that it goes wrong.
Yeah, it does. Level. You can't like, I'm a perfectionist in everything I do. When I'm playing games, you know, I'm a perfectionist. I'm like, if I miss an easy shot, I'm like so hard on myself and it will tilt me for the next 2 or 3 rounds. But like, even with my work, if I stutter, or if I mix up my words, or if I take too long to ask the question I want to ask, I'm so hard on myself, but it happens. And you have to remind yourself that people watching at home aren't realistically going to remember it. Like, yeah, I can still be hard on myself and be like, this is something I need to improve on. I think that's very different from getting caught up in this is what people watching are going to remember, because realistically they won't.
Yeah, 100%. Do you tend to like sort of VOD review yourself then? Because I know casters do. I've never really spoken to hosts.
Yeah.
So.
I try not to do it too close to being at the actual event. So I know a lot of people that like when the event is live, they'll like, I have friends that will message me and be like, Twitch chat is loving you right now and this is what they're saying. But for me personally, I never look at the chat or the broadcast itself, because there's a lot of mean people out there and I don't want to like get in my own head and be overthinking everything they're saying and things like that. So like, I'll give it a while and then go back and watch a broadcast, because I think it's important to be able to view an event with like a clear lens, because if you watch it straight after an event, all you're thinking about is like, yeah, but I could have done this and I could have done that. And realistically, all of those things in the moment, I don't know who's going to end up winning the event. So it doesn't really matter if I think to myself, I could have asked this, I should have asked this. Yeah, I think reviewing your work is important, but I think there's also a balance between how often you do it and when you do it in relation to the event.
I think there's a lot of talent in what you do, because like it's not
man.
easy. Like, no, seriously, because it's not easy. Just you are live. Like what we're doing now, we've done a lot of bloopers. Spoiler alert.
Include the bloopers. Keep
them. we can cut them out, right? Whereas you can't. You're literally having to run with it. So not only are you, one, got to keep it entertaining, you got to kind of keep it going. You can't just pause and think, what am I going to do next to like entertain the crowd? You know, you have to just keep on rolling. You mentioned about the producer in your ear as well. Like what sort of things would they be talking to you about? I've heard that obviously you have a producer, but I don't know what things they would say. Like, are they?
So I usually, when we're on broadcast, I will have a run of show in front of me. I usually do it very specifically. I'll have notes of like prep and research that I've done on the teams, the players, the matchups that we've got. So I'll like split the screen in half. I have my run of show on one side, my notes on the other. But so I always know what is coming up next. Whether we've got an ad break or a sponsor segment or something like that. But the producer in my ear will also be cueing and telling me those same things. Just in case, for example, I'm looking at you and chatting, I don't want to be looking down at my laptop the entire time. So when the producer says to me, we've got this ad break in 30 seconds, I know that I need to hurry up along the conversation, because in 30 seconds we're out and we have an ad. Or they'll be like, we've got this sponsor segment coming up next. So then I'll try and steer the conversation towards like, if it's a peripheral sponsor, I will try and lead the conversation in the direction of like, oh yeah, like look at the way he holds his mouse, for example. It's really quirky. It's really weird. And then my talent will like kind of feed into that. And I'll be like, well, speaking of peripherals, we have our wonderful peripheral sponsor. So you kind of, the producer is vital, crucial. Like they make my life a million times easier, because I'm able to stick to timings for like how long we've been chatting for. If we have graphics coming up, they'll be like, we've got this graphic ready, we can throw it up. Or if we've got videos, they'll be like, this video is ready to go. So we can like, it's very much like a team-based effort, and producers are incredible.
It makes sense. Like we've been behind the scenes of these things, and you've got obviously all these massive screens where you've got all the camera guys like switching between different shots and stuff. And I guess, like you say, timing is like crucial, because yeah, there's an ad break. You don't want like a sponsorship video going up and then you're still going, hey
Yeah.
crowd, let's
Yeah,
chat to
exactly.
something. Like,
Yeah.
so, okay, that makes sense. And how easy is it to listen to someone while talking to someone? You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
seems like a multitask skill.
I think most people would probably struggle with it a lot. I kind of view it as it's only the same as me playing video games. When I'm playing CS and I'm holding an angle, if I have a teammate that's holding a crossfire with me, I'm listening to their comms. So they might hear footsteps before me. But then I've also got teammates that are calling what's happening over on the opposite bomb site. So I'm kind of used to hearing multiple people speak at once and like weeding out the information that I need. Maybe that's why it's easier. Maybe it's my ADHD. Maybe I don't know what it is, but like somehow in my brain, it just works. It just makes sense. The best way I can describe it is it's a little bit of like a puzzle, and like the information that I get, whether that's from you guys, for example, is my analyst giving me the info that I need to keep the conversation going, or my producer, it just slots in together like a puzzle piece. Like I'd explain to you that like my parents wanted to understand what I do a little bit better. And when I was explaining, yeah, I got a producer in my ear, and they were like, how do they know when to speak to you? I'm like, what do you mean? It doesn't matter when they want to, if they want to speak to me, they will speak to me. So I took one of my AirPods, I gave it to my mum, and I was like, okay, you talk to me about your day. Tell me what your plans are for today. So she starts talking, and then I start speaking into my phone so she can hear it through the AirPod. I'm like, okay, in 5 seconds, I'm going to need you to queue up this ad break. And I'm like telling her what to say. And she's like, she like loses her train of thought completely.
Yeah.
And then my dad tried to do it. And he was doing fine. He starts talking. And then as soon as I start talking, he just stops. My mum's just like, you can't do that. You have to keep talking. What do you mean? And he's like, no, I'm trying to listen to what she's saying. And I was like, Dad, you can't do that. If you're on a broadcast, I can't just stop and just like listen to what a producer.
Like got hundreds of thousands of people in the crowd.
Exactly.
Just like, hang on, guys. I'm just
everybody, just hold, please, and try to listen to the producer. You just can't do these things. But I think it's those things that people that are watching, they don't really take it into account. They don't really realize that, like, I've had 3 people like speaking in my ear before, and one of them's freaking out because something's gone wrong in production. Like, it just happens.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I think it's like those sort of behind the scenes that people don't get. And it does go back to like what I said earlier, is like the general audience is never going to think about these things. They're just going to see like a pretty polished like analyst desk or whatever it might be and just not think. It's really crazy. But so like we spoke about now kind of like the quirks of big events, but I kind of like, because we've spoken in the past with like John from Epic.LAN and stuff, so I kind of like want to go back to that, if that's all right, and think about it, because like there's still people watching who I think like will actually be interested in where to get their foot in the door, especially in the UK where events are slowing down and it's seeming like harder for people. So like from your experience, what advice would you kind of give to those people?
Do not do an esports degree. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but what am I saying? It's just not a hot take. It's just fact. I got to keep it real with you guys. Like, I did my uni degree as a computer science in game dev. So I do programming, I do 3D and a bunch of other stuff. And yet I'm still working in the games industry. I'm still doing hosting. And if everything goes wrong, I have something to fall back on. I can go back and do computer science, a company somewhere. But people that are doing esports specific degrees, you're locked in at esports. And what do you do when you want to work at a company that doesn't know what esports is? They're going to take a look at that and be like, I don't know what this is. And it will be very tailored to esports. Whereas I entered esports by volunteering. The best way of learning is hands-on on the job. Like, I genuinely believe if I had done an esports degree and then tried to get into hosting, I wouldn't have even a fraction of the knowledge and experience that I needed that I got from adminning, which is something completely different. Like, it's just, I think volunteering is so important, but I also think it's so important to note that, like, for events like Epic.LAN, everybody volunteers. It's a wholesome community feel, and I cannot recommend it enough for anybody that wants to experience commentating for the first time or presenting for the first time or interviewing for whatever it is. Epic.LAN is so unbelievably welcoming. So I will always recommend Epic.LAN to people. But there are also companies out there that can afford to pay people. So don't let them take advantage of, your time just because you might not have the most amount of experience. I think it's a fine balance between the two. But for me personally, I think Epic.LAN is amazing. Like, anytime I can go back, I will always go back to an Epic.LAN. And if I can volunteer my time for Epic.LAN, I will do it. It doesn't matter how many events I'm getting paid for. I owe a lot of my career to Epic.LAN. If John didn't take that first chance on me, I don't even know if I'd be doing this right now. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's that community feel of Epic.LAN, the fact that they are so unbelievably welcoming. I love it. Cannot recommend it enough. And a shout out to John as well, because he deserves it.
I think the whole volunteering thing is important as well. Like, it is a grassroots way of getting into where you are today. And I think by volunteering as well, you're not locked into a job per se.
Yeah.
It's kind of dipping your toes in to kind of work out maybe what you're good at.
Yeah.
Or what you actually enjoy. Like, you might be good at something, but it doesn't mean you enjoy it. So you might want to try something else. So I think, like you've said, you've done a bit of admin and you've done a bit of game dev, you've done a lot of stuff. And I think that's all kind of helped in different ways to get to where you are. So yeah, I think volunteering is a great way of doing that. And I think, like you say, maybe once you know what you want to do, say it is hosting or something like that, maybe you could get a degree into performance or that sort of, maybe I can't think of the other degrees now, but like, performance in some way, or like TV production, probably more fitting actually. But I see where you're coming from that side.
I think the like volunteering route isn't actually even strictly like just an esports or a broadcast type thing either. Like, I come from a law background, so I have a law degree, and the way you get like recognized by big firms is you do like paralegal work and pro bono work and stuff. Like, you give your time up doing like jobs that you might like think are like the bottom of the pecking order, but they're absolutely foundational for the things that you'll go on to do. So it's not like it's unique either. Like, and I think that's like people should like see a lot of value in those sort of things. And like you say, Epics are I spoke to John at the last event, like in relation to when this podcast goes out, and they did this whole piece around content, videographers, photographers, the like, because they're sort of the people at events that are behind the scenes that you don't really think about. You get to see Jasmine on stage all day looking all glammed up, but you don't think about the people behind stage often. So they did this piece on like, how did they kind of get through? And it's the same, volunteering X, Y, and Z. But the thing that John has always stressed, and the thing that these events are really good for, is it's like a sandbox almost, where you can make a mistake and you can learn and grow. And like, you probably found that like loads, you're on stage and there might only be 20, 30 people in the crowd. So if you fumble a word, it doesn't matter, but you grow and you've learned. So like, it's really cool to see you as an example of that pipeline working. And
dude, at that first Epic.LAN that I was, because I only got to do it once on stage before COVID happened, I was so nervous. Honestly, like,
I joined you.
You did join me. You were on. We did. I interviewed you, and I remember you saying to me, "I'm not used to being on stage. Like, I don't know how I feel about being interviewed and stuff." And I said to you, "It's fine. It's just me and you having a chat."
That did help.
Yeah,
that did help.
It's literally just us having a chat.
I'm used to this kind of setting where it's a camera, there's no audience. But yeah, when there's a stage and it's live, it's that scary fumbleness, like, oh, I'm going to make a mistake, or I'm going to say something really bad, or like, you just don't know. Like,
I just remember being sat in the car and like researching all of the teams that are going to LAN, and like trying to figure out who's probably going to make it out of groups, who's going to make it to playoffs, who's going to be on stage, who would I interview. All of these things going on in my head. And I was just freaking out. I was so nervous, and I was making mistakes like on stage, maybe mispronouncing someone, maybe stumbling over my words a little bit. But Epic.LAN is just like, everyone's so supportive. And I think if my first experience hosting was like at a big event, I would have frozen on the spot, 100%. I can't recommend it enough. So good.
And we will be there currently. So, we do love a little Overclockers Epic.LAN.
I love the stands you guys put together there as well.
Yeah.
My favorite is going around to all of the keyboards and just doing a little clickety clack. Yeah.
Is there any one that you've met or interviewed that was like an idol, or like someone famous, or like someone that maybe made you a bit nervous interviewing them? Yeah.
It's us two. It's us two.
It's you two. Oh my God.
It's this podcast right now.
Neymar Jr.
Oh, wow.
You both
Yeah,
had
I
the
was
same
like, I didn't know.
reaction.
Wow, that is cool.
Yeah. Oh my God, I still remember when I got this email. I got an email asking me if I would host an event. It was a PUBG event with someone. They didn't say who it was. And they said to me that I needed to sign an NDA before they could give me further details. I was like, it's kind of weird. Okay. And signed the NDAs and everything. And then afterwards, it was like the day before the event, I found out it was Neymar. And I'm just like, oh my God, what? Like, Neymar plays PUBG. He plays CS as well, by the way,
Really?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think I did know he played PUBG actually.
Yeah, he plays PUBG and he plays CS as well. He's a proper gamer.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I got there, it was crazy. It was like his management and everybody was there and they were very like, we have to stick to everything that's on the runner show. No, like going off topic and like, you can't ask him X, Y, Z. And it was a lot of information to take and to learn on the spot. It's not even like they had told me this beforehand. So I could be like, okay, get that out of my mind. It was very much on the day of. Then yeah, he came into the studio. Lovely guy, by the way. He's so lovely. Like in my head, you know how people think that like celebrities are gonna have like a massive ego or like whatever. He's just not like that at all. He's so lovely, has jokes, like very lovely guy. They had a translator on site as well. And they were like, by the way, he's not gonna speak English.
Oh, wow. So you had to do...
And they told you this on the day?
On the day. They were like, by the way, he's not gonna speak English. We have a translator. And then I'm like, okay, so how's this going to work? Because even if we're just having like a chit chat, it's going to be a little bit more rigid and a little bit more awkward because someone's going to have to translate. Then he's going to answer. Then he's going to have to translate back. And that's going to eat up time from our before the show, you know, our pre-show segment, our mid-show segments and stuff like that. So then you start trying to work out timings of, okay, realistically, all of the questions have to be shorter and all of this other stuff. And, I was like, yeah, okay, sure. I mean, I'll roll with the punches as usual. And then we go live and I'm chatting to him. Like before we went live, I was like having a chat with him and I was like, yeah, like show me how many like keep ups you can do and things like that. And then he was just having a laugh with it. He handed the ball to me. He was like, now it's your turn. Bearing in mind, I'm wearing heels and I'm like in like a show outfit. So I'm like, are you kidding me right now? I was like, don't you dare do that on broadcast. He was like, no, go on, you could do it. Again, lovely guy. We go live and I've like asked the question and then I've turned to the translator, but Neymar's just answering me immediately. Like not even, the translator doesn't even translate. He just starts answering me in English.
Oh.
And then I'm just a bit like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. And then I've like looked off to the side of the camera and I can see like the production crew and like his management and stuff are like, everyone's confused. Like what's happened? He's like answering in English all of a sudden. And so we just kind of carried on like that. It was a great event. There was only a couple times like if he didn't understand like what I was alluding to or what I meant by something, like the translator would help. But for the most part, he was just vibing. It was great. And then as soon as I got off broadcast, everyone was like, how did you do that? I'm like, what do you mean, how did I do that? They were like, you got him to just speak to you. I was like, I don't know. But that was like an amazing feeling because it was like, I don't know, it was just like something I wasn't expecting. And also, it was a fun event. We had so much fun. Like, during the games, he would have to like kick the ball and shoot into the goal. Like, after having played a game of PUBG, and then sure enough, he did throw me on the spot and he was like, it's your turn now, live on broadcast. I was like,
wow.
I told you not to do this. But like, yeah, that was a really cool, it was a fun event.
I guess the translator there as a backup as well, I guess.
It's
so
like, it's reassuring. Yeah.
But no, it's nice that you managed to, speak together.
It was so fun. It was a great event, honestly.
So cool. Yeah, I was just not expecting that. I really was expecting to say like a CS player or someone. Like, I just was not expecting Neymar. That really caught me off guard. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, Overclockers, obviously you've worked with us for quite some time now.
Yeah.
When did you first hear of us, or maybe where? Can you remember?
Man, I'm not going to lie. I was a kid. And my brother and me were both building our first gaming PCs, and we ordered from Overclockers. And I remember when his order of his parts had arrived, he got a little pack of Haribos, and I thought that was the most fascinating thing ever. Like, oh my God, you got Harry for what? And he's like, it just comes with the order. So that's when I had first heard of Overclockers and bought from Overclockers. And then obviously going to the Epic.LANs, you guys were there. Going to the Insomnias, you guys were there as well. I feel like Overclockers is probably the go-to place for people wanting UK PC parts or even peripherals and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, for when this is released, you've obviously spoke about this on your socials now, but we've worked together now on a new system. So for one, Veracity has no excuses now when she is bad in games.
Which never happens now, by the way. Actually, don't you laugh.
I was going to say, I can't even confirm
I've
played
seen
a game
you
with
play
you
it.
yet.
Exactly.
So I'm actually curious to see.
Okay, I'm not even kidding. Firstly, a huge shout out to everybody at Overclockers for making that happen, because this PC is everything. Everything I wanted and more. And when it arrived, I gotta say, you guys pack your PCs so well. It had arrived and there was this giant box. And my parents were just kind of, because they had to accept the delivery for me because I was out. And they were just like, is this the whole thing a PC? I was like, yeah, I guess so. And then you start removing the layers and there's filled with cardboard and the wrapping and everything's just packed so well. I'm sorry, I went off on a little bit of a tangent. The PC itself is amazing. I actually have a 400 hertz monitor at home, and I couldn't even get 400 frames on my old PC. So what's the point of having a 400 hertz monitor when you're not making the most use of it? But now, honestly, the very first game of CS I played with the new PC, I was popping off. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was terrified. I said to my friends before we got in that game of CS, I was like, guys, if I play worse, I actually don't know what I'm going to do, because it's going to be really embarrassing. Thankfully, it didn't happen. But when I was popping off, everybody on Discord was like, oh my God, PC diff. I have clips from my shadow plays now where everyone's like, oh my God, she just doesn't miss. She hits those. There's so many clutches that I've been winning in CS as well. And everybody on Discord's freaking out. Having a good PC is so important. I can't stress this enough.
But the games that you're playing, like CS and Valorant and all of those games, first-person shooters, FPS does matter. You do need that performance, right? Because, you're literally competing against someone else with this, with maybe different hardware, different reactions, and it gives you that bit of edge, I guess, over someone else. I think
also, it's just so map dependent too. And I think that's maybe what some of the people that are newer to playing video games or building their own PC or deciding their own PC parts and stuff. For example, in CS, I would have 70 FPS, which isn't great. But if I played on train, that would go straight down to 30 FPS, which at that point, you're playing a slideshow. So it's very map dependent as well. You're better off preparing for worst case scenario, so that I know now if I queue any map on CS, I'm good. I'm gonna be fine. If I play bad, it's just skill issue. But it hasn't happened yet.
Winning. That's amazing. We need to get some games in.
This guy here, I carried him even with a terrible PC. So that tells you. But you got a new PC too.
That's what I was going to say.
You got a new PC too.
And new internet.
Actually,
and new internet.
Yeah, so I'm better now.
I have yet to see it. I have yet to see it.
You're just right. We need to play together, and I'm gonna be top fragging.
Top frag.
This is gonna be opposite day, so you're actually at the bottom.
That'll just be a usual day for him, honestly. Bottom frag.
Anyway, let's talk about the PC. So it's much better than what you had before.
Yes.
Newer. What did you have before? Actually, what was your spec? Can you remember?
I had a 1080 graphics card.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was not great.
Yeah, especially because this is the thing is so from spending time at Epic, I kind of have that attitude where I'm like, these players just kind of need to grow up, about X, Y, and Z problems, and they're blaming their hardware, but really they're just bad. But at least with CS2, the hardware constraint is way bigger, I think, than Go was. So I know a lot of people who moved to when the game moved to 2, they just performance was just terrible, awful. And like you say, it's, you know, all these assets and the new maps and stuff, and the game looks great, but if your performance is bad, like for what? So so you went from a 1080, so you must have had that like a good few years now.
Oh yeah, and it was a secondhand 1080.
Oh wow, okay.
It wasn't like, and then before that, I had a 1060. All the way through uni, I had like a 1060, which was not great when I was trying to render and stuff.
Card, is it? I can't
exactly, like it was not great. But again, for me, it was the biggest struggle was I knew I wanted to build a new PC. Because I've like built PCs before. Obviously with adminning, I was like constantly replacing parts in PCs and stuff. But because I was traveling so much for work, like, and every time the event was like a last minute, or I'm like busy prepping for an event, so it's like not the right time to sit down and build a PC. For me, it was very much like I didn't have the time to. But then also, even if I did have like 2 weeks, I would have to fly out again. So it was like, I want to be at home and enjoy playing on my PC. Which honestly for me was why Overclockers came in so clutch, because obviously it's an amazing PC, but also it takes out the guesswork for me completely. I don't then have to sit there for 3 hours trying to perfect my cable management, because the cable management in my old PC was dreadful. Like, you guys just do everything from the cable management, the custom case, the printing, the PC part, everything. You guys just take care of it. And then it arrives looking like, I'm not like, when it arrived, I was like, this is something from a showroom. This is like something you see like the influencers posting about and like pictures from the website itself. Like, for me, it's just, you guys kind of took away the needing to dedicate a whole day to building a PC and then risking me messing up something or a PC part not performing as well as it should. Because you guys just do everything. You stress test everything before sending it out. So it was literally a case of plug it in and then just start playing. It was amazing.
I love that. That was the premium gas we needed to get through the day.
I'm not even trying to give you an ego boost, though. That's the thing.
Like, I do this a lot, and I feel like our editor rolls his eyes every time I do. But I'm assuming we've had pictures on screen as you've been chatting, and if we haven't, we are now going to have to, because I've just committed to it. So sorry about that. But like, you can see the PC is gorgeous. Like, the white build. We got it in the new Haven case. I was
going to say the Haven BF360.
Oh my god, that case is amazing, by the way, because before the PC I had before, it was like the front panel was closed, the top panel was closed, the only airflow I had was from barely anything from underneath the PC, and then obviously the back of the PC. Whereas with the new Haven case, it's airflow from the top, airflow from the sides, fans at the back as well, and underneath too. Like, there's so many fans in that, I'm not even worried about a UK summer. Like, come at me, bro, it'll be fine.
And it's the big 180 fans as well, so it's just
and the RGB, the RGB, everything.
The RGB does make you better.
It does. Facts. Honestly, facts. Like, everything in my room as well, I have. You've seen it.
Your room, like,
I've got the RGB Veracity sign. I've got an RGB rose that I had made. I've got skateboards that hang up in my backdrop as well. And I've outlined all of them with RGB as well. So the PC just fits in very nicely. The only thing left now is I want to transform to an all-white setup. And I know that is like an aesthetic. It's so gorgeous. It's so beautiful. But the PC was the most difficult part of that. And now that's done. And then I used the Ducky keyboard as well. That's already white. I just need to wrap that desk. What do people do to get white monitors?
There are some.
There's some. Not many. They are mostly black.
But what if you don't want a new monitor? Like, can you spray paint them?
You can, like, vinyl wrap. But
that's probably safer.
Yeah. Some monitors obviously do have, like, some sort of air filtering for heat and stuff. So, but yeah, I imagine there's people who can do it.
Yeah, it's only the front, right? So you can maybe just vinyl wrap the bit that you see rather than the rear,
rather than the back.
So that could work. But yeah, I don't know. I've not done it myself. Maybe some of these guys have. Maybe in the comments.
Yeah, let me know in the comments. How do I get a full white setup? Because peripherals, I think we got that on lock. The PC, check. I am gonna vinyl wrap my desk.
Nice.
Okay.
The desk is gonna get vinyl wrapped.
Yeah.
I already have white monitor arms as well.
You're pretty close then.
We're so close. Yeah. Just need a white Noble chair now.
They do white ones.
They do white ones. They do white ones. And they print on them as well. I feel like I'm just shilling for you guys.
Yeah, this is me.
I don't even...
This is me. Talking. Just
this is me just
They're doing our
info
job for us.
dumping.
We'll
This is
just
me
sit
just
here
info dumping. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We promise this was not forced.
Blink twice if you need help. I'm not blinking.
Whoa. That was pretty professional.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was great. I appreciate that. We spoke off camera, but I really did want to do a look down camera 2 ad read. Maybe it's too false now.
Next time. I'll do it next time.
Next time.
Wait, what? Do you guys have a go-to ad read for Overclockers? Hey, Overclockers.
You have to do the hello Overclockers, yeah.
I just said hey.
Yeah, it was hello.
Hello, Overclockers. And welcome back to another edition of the podcast.
There we are. That's
That was
the intro.
way better than mine.
No, it wasn't.
That's way better. That's not fair.
Just swap the intro over.
I'm just going to go, I'm off. I've had enough. Well, I mean, I feel like we've had a really good chat here.
But a lot of stuff, haven't we? From hosting to how you got there. About us, of course.
About carrying you in games.
That never happens.
This guy here, by the way, was born before the internet, and he's
I was waiting to see if you could squeeze that
Thanks,
in.
guys. Thanks for watching.
Leave
And we'll
a
see you
like.
next time. Bye.